Alright, I'm back. I'm wearing my detective hat, so you know what that means. More 428 Shibuya Scramble! Last time, I got another bad ending. Where my two characters wound up fighting each other and the bad guys got away. So, let's see what we can change this time around and see what happens differently. I'm gonna jump here and see if it changes something. What was the right call here? Should I take this guy down or back off after all? Alright. Last time I did this one, and that wound up leading to two bad endings. So I'm gonna try this one and see what happens. Letting the perp escape now was too big of a risk. He had to catch this guy. ASAP. The man darted down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently, he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. He noticed two people over by a trash pile. At first, they appeared to be a young couple. Then, looking more closely, he realized the girl was Hitomi. Mr. Kuze, I've located Hitomi Osawa. The couple took off running, the rough-looking guy dragging Hitomi by the hand. She was with a man in his 20s. It looks like she's being led away against her will. Clarify, please, Kuze demanded. What's going on? I'm not sure. Was this guy a member of some criminal group? Looked like the two were running away from something. Alright, we'll handle the foreigner. You go after Hitomi. Got it. Kano sprang into action. Stop right there! The young man glanced back at Kano, but rather than stopping, he picked up his speed, continuing to drag Hitomi along with him. She didn't seem quite able to keep up. Kano knew he could catch them. He tried to close the distance in a sprint. After a short distance, the young man stopped, realizing he couldn't outrun his pursuer. Shielding Hitomi behind him, he glowered at Kano. Why did you run off? Kano demanded. Because you were chasing us. A blatant lie. People didn't just bolt like that without good reason. The young tough started edging away, keeping Hitomi behind him. Kano followed. Look, just let the girl go. The guy glanced back at Hitomi. She shook her head fearfully. Maybe this troublemaker had warned her to keep her mouth shut. You've got this, Kano. Just don't let them out of your sight. Gah! A sudden blow to the top of his head left him staggering. His eyes spun as he reeled with vertigo. There was a flapping sound, and a vague black shape wheeled above him. Was that a crow? Ouch. It was the last thing Kano saw before his vision went dark. Bad end. Is that a crow? In the midst of chasing the man who snatched the attaché case, Kano happened across Hitomi and Achi. While confronting them, he suffered a blow to the head and was knocked out cold. But Achi only came this way because he thought it was the quickest way to escape with Hitomi. If he'd gone for the police box instead, things might have gone differently. Alright. Switching back to Achi. The girl's still there. She's staring in the direction of the man who'd taken the case had gone, a worried expression on her face. Yeah. Couldn't shake the feeling something was very wrong. Maybe he should talk to her and ask what was going on. Just as he was making up his mind, a middle-aged man in a ratty business suit shuffled awkwardly toward her first. Was there something wrong with one of his legs? He was using a cane to walk. Then one of his hands slipped into his jacket pocket. Archie could scarcely believe his eyes. It was Revolver Ocelot. The greatest handgun ever made. 6 bullets. More than enough to kill anything that moves. With a single fluid motion, the man lifted up the gun and pointed it in the girl's direction. He was aiming right for her head. Huh? The girl had noticed the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. Archie didn't hesitate. Breaking into a full run, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled onto the pavement. But the would-be assassin kept hold of his weapon and quickly scrabbled back to his feet. Yes, he made many words. Archie knew he had to act fast. He grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away. "This way!" he shouted. She just stared at him, uncomprehending, trembling like a startled animal. "Come on, run!" "I got it. Archie's the doctor." Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave a fearful nod. "The police box. Let's go." "Yes, he's the doctor." "I knew it." Archie is one of the incarnations of the doctor. "The police box. Let's go." Ooh-wee-oo, woo. Still pulling the girl by the hand, Archie headed for the police box outside the train station. But it was empty. There were always policemen staffing these things. Why did it have to be unmanned now? Archie flashed a worried glance behind him and saw the assassin in pursuit, like a man possessed. Yikes, this is not good. There was nothing they could do but run. With the frightened girl in tow, Archie ran beneath the JR Yamanote Line railway overpass. "Don't worry, just trust me," he told her. But first, they sped past a convenience store where an employee was cleaning up the sidewalk. "Here, take this, will you?" Archie tossed over a bag of trash. "Huh? What? Huh?" "Baños. It's a bathroom that way." They slipped through a crowd and into a nearby back alley. "But this way's a dead end," the girl said breathlessly. "Like I said, just trust me." Stopping abruptly, Archie kicked down a wooden plank covering a gap between the two buildings, clearing a space that a person could fit through. "See? We can get away through here. In you go." But the girl just stood there, looking terrified. "What's the matter?" Archie asked. "Come on, we gotta hurry." But I... She looked at him as if he, too, was about to pull a gun on her. He could hardly blame her. After all, he was just some random guy who had turned up out of nowhere. But this was no time for dawdling. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. If they just stood there, he was going to catch them. "Okay, sweetheart, hear me out," he said in a rush. "The name's Archie Endo. I live in the neighborhood, and I'm not the kind to stand idly by when a girl is being chased by some killer. So please, just trust me, and I'll do my best to keep you safe." He hoped the look in his eyes would convince her he was being on the level. After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance. "Phew. Right, let's start with this." They had paused beside an enormous stack of beverage crates. With a quick shove, Archie knocked the whole pile down, sending it cascading across the pursuer's path. That was a close call. The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the fallen crates. "My bad, man," Archie called out. "Mind cleaning that up for me?" The man scowled back at them and fumbled for his gun. Archie flashed him a wave goodbye and slipped away between the buildings with the girl. Things are looking good this time. Hurrying down a narrow alley, they emerged onto a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane hadn't given up, he would probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Achi decided their best bet was to try and stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move. "Guess we can lie low here for a bit," he said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny old hostess club. She followed him reluctantly. Achi flicked the switch inside the front door, and a chintzy chandelier glowed to life. He sat the girl down on the small sofa beside the counter. She gave him a worried look. Achi felt a pang of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking. "Oh no, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not going to try any funny business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not in business anymore, so I figured we're safe in here." The girl chuckled at his evident discomfort. "All right then," she said. "So we good?" "We're good." "Okay, good." Achi made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes. "So how about some introductions? I'm Achi Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Achi. I'm Hitomi Asawa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess." With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Achi felt his heart sing. She was charming, personable. Just about everything about her was captivating. Achi never met another girl like her. Achi?" "What?" "Something the matter? You were spacing out there for a bit." Achi shook his head to dispel his daze. Damn it, this is no time to get all starry-eyed. He needed to think of some way to get her safe from the guy who was after her. "Look, can you tell me what the heck is going on? Please, I need to know if I'm going to help you." "Right, okay. I'm not really sure where to begin." Hitomi looked down, lost in thought. Apparently, hers was a long story. "All right," she said at last. "I guess I'll just explain things as they happened." "Wait, hold up. Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations ain't exactly my strong suit." "Okay," Hitomi chuckled. "I'll try my best." She got comfortable and then started her story. "So last night somebody abducted my sister. The kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handoff personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning to make the exchange. So I did. And this man came by and took the attaché case. Whoa, sorry, hold up a sec. It didn't let me read all that. Achi had suddenly lost the thread of the conversation. "Could you say that again, but like simpler?" "Huh? Sure." "I'm just having trouble following is all." "I mean, is this the plot of some movie or soap opera?" "No, that's not. Or some kind of hidden camera show?" "This is real. This really happened." The look in Hitomi's eyes was dead serious. She's got to be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying? He had seen the attaché case and the gunman himself. How much was the ransom, if you don't mind my asking? Hitomi hesitated. 5 million yen, she said after a moment. Achi gave a whistle of amazement. The detectives told me that was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for. It's plenty, that's for sure. I guess there's good money in that sort of thing. As soon as the words were out, he realized his blunder. Sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way. He fidgeted awkwardly and Hitomi looked away. I'm an idiot. But okay, I think I get this kidnapping thing. So I'm guessing those guys who chased the guy who took the ransom were undercover cops. He replayed the scene in his head. But then, the kidnapper took the attaché case and ran, right? So if you were empty-handed, why'd the guy with the cane come after you? I'm honestly not sure. Hitomi's words trailed off. This was clearly difficult for her to talk about. Anyway, we should probably get you to the police as soon as we... No, we can't do that. Hitomi's tone was resolute. I can't take this to the police. Why not? Achi waited for an answer, but none came. After a long and awkward silence, she stood up from her seat. I really appreciate the help, but I should go now. She gave Achi a deep bow. Nuh-uh, hold on. What do you mean go? Go where? He hurried to intervene as she headed for the door. I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure the rest out on my own, somehow. Hey, I said hold on. Hitomi ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. Standing there was the man with the cane, his revolver in his hand. To be continued. That's pretty exciting. A lot of stuff. Achiendo's story ends here. However, Shinya Kano still has more to do. Ooh. Read along further in Kano's story. Bet your ass we are. Alright, so we've reached the end of that segment. So let's keep playing on Kano's timeline and see where that goes. I'm actually really enjoying this thing. If you hadn't guessed, this is what, the third, fourth episode? I don't know. We'll see. Alright, let's see. Trailing the Foreigner. Alright. The man darted down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently, he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. The man shot out onto a major thoroughfare, then bolted up a pedestrian bridge. Just where the heck is this guy heading? Halfway across the bridge, the man stopped abruptly. Cautious, Kano stopped as well. Height, roughly 190 centimeters. Age, 30s. Hair, dark brown. Clothing, all black. Talking about me, aren't you? A moment later, the man flashed a triumphant sneer and he held up the attaché case. Before Kano could even yell stop, it was already too late. The man threw the attaché case down to the road below. No! Panicking, Kano peered over the railing. A man on a motorcycle was waiting beneath the bridge. I've been had. Kano bit his lip hard. Damn it! Kano sprinted back down the bridge, hearing the bike's engine roar to life. He had to make it in time. Descending the stairs, 4 at a time, he leapt toward the roadway, but the bike sped out of reach. It roared away in the direction of Yoyogi, leaving Kano in the dust. Looking back at the overpass, he saw the man who'd thrown the attaché case running away. He handed the money off to someone else. He's currently on a motorcycle heading toward Yoyogi. His report to Kuze complete, Kano slumped down in dismay. The cops had played right into the criminals' hands. Now the crooks were getting away, and people's lives were in danger. Was there any greater failure for a policeman? Staring off into the distance where the man who'd thrown the case had disappeared, Kano gritted his teeth. To be continued. Alright, we've reached the end of this demo. I really like it. You finish reading both characters' stories for the hour. It's taken me longer than an hour to play this. In 428, you'll make your way through all the protagonist stories in parallel like this. Once everyone has reached the end of a given hour, the next hour can begin. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Drop the pleasantry. Can we drop the pleasantries? Sir, this is a waste of time. I've got work for you. It's like totally bogus. What makes any of this my crimes? 428 Shibuya Scramble. I highly recommend checking this out. I've been liking playing just this demo section. It's really cool. The dancing cats. So the mechanics are great. The story is really interesting. It's kind of gripping a little bit. And being able to jump back and forth between characters and change their outcomes to get to the end it's a pretty amazing mechanic. I'm so glad I decided to try this out. I'm having a lot of fun with this. So check it out. I recommend it. Don't let the cat out of the bag. All right. That's enough for today. Be on the listen and be on the lookout for a random ninja attack.